Remember, Nick, last time where I had the bird that was the cardinal that attacked all my windows?
I do remember that.
Do you remember this? I have no update. The bird still literally, I swear it's got to be every hour on the hour. I closed the door earlier because there was just like, I felt like I was potentially inviting the bird to like attack itself through the screen, and then it would be in the house. And we've already had stories about birds in my house, and you can only, do that so many times per year in a podcast. So I wanted to make sure that didn't happen. So I appreciate all your commentary and any input you have on the situation.
I don't have much input except that this is great that you're still being harassed by a single bird. The single bird has defeated you.
Yeah. Did I tell you that I got a picture of the dad bird that's a part of this problem?
No.
Okay.
Wait, is it multiple birds? I'm sorry.
Well, okay. So it is a girl cardinal, and boy cardinal has started to show up. But he doesn't attack the windows. He just watches in the background disapprovingly. And I spiritually understand where he's at. But he does nothing about it. And you know what? I also understand that. Sometimes life, you just gotta let it come how it does. But like literally, Nick, I have pictures of him like he's like distant in the background watching his crazy, insane wife attack our windows. And it's terrible.
Well, I'm liking to interpret this as like the burned out dad who's just like, yes, my kid is causing a scene in the Starbucks. What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Except for this time, it's his cardinal wife.
Exactly. It's the same energy. It's the same energy as the dad who's just.
Hey Nick, look around us. Do you? Oh wow! Do you see this water underneath this very, very thin ice that we're walking on? Because I do. I see this very, very thin ice that I'm. Why
are you walking? I don't understand why you're walking on thin ice.
You don't understand why I'm walking on thin ice, Nick.
No. What am I missing here?
We're really close to complaining about wives' territory.
Oh yeah, my wife was out there just women be shopping. Am I right? Women be shopping.
My wife.
We're so dumb.
Dude, my wife does. If anyone is more embarrassing in public, it's me. But it's not because I run into people's windows or attack them or cause a scene. It's just
my wife's not embarrassing.
Yeah, that's just special occasions. But
all right. Welcome to the Year We Started a Podcast. It's a podcast born Phoenix-like from the ashes of last year's podcast. This is the ripcord that I pull when it's time to talk to my friend Nick about some of the things that are fun and interesting.
From the ashes of him complaining about his wife. I wasn't complaining about it. You're dumb.
I am your co-host, Jeff, out of order. Here we are.
Hi.
And you are anonymous.
I'm Nick. I'm the other guy.
Yeah. Okay, so we're way out of order. I wasn't going to say this, but Nick, this morning, I tell you what. So I've had a hard time with cars and bad things happening to them when they shouldn't have.
That's relatable. Continue.
No, shut up, you jerk. I'm telling a real story.
I know you are. I am too. Go ahead.
I had things stolen from my car once. It was very bad. This time, however, Nick, when I got up today, I live in a small town of 1,000 people. It's supposed to be the sort of place where you can just leave your car doors unlocked.
No, and I wouldn't leave my car door unlocked anywhere.
No. Yeah, that's not a thing that you are familiar with, but that is a thing that I've lived with my entire life. However, a couple years, or like it would have been pre-pandemic. So pre-pandemic, I had my car broken into. I did have it unlocked. It was extremely weird circumstances. I had my dogs out, get out, and then had gotten back into sleep, and everything was not where it was supposed to be, not in my garage, etc. Anyways, so since then I installed security cameras, and I've never, ever made that mistake ever again. However, this morning I woke up and somebody in our stupid neighborhood, probably some just random hooligan kid, shot the back of my truck window with a BB gun or airsoft gun or something.
I'm glad that it was. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
and shattered my flipping window. And I'm just so mad. I went through all my security camera stuff and I found some stills where I probably know what happened, like who did it, but like it's like 8 pixels, and I don't think you can take 8 pixels to Facebook court to try to convict somebody.
Sure
so
you can. Sure you can.
I haven't bothered. But like,
see this kind of tan pixel right here? Clear evidence that it was Jeff. And that's
Clear.
you. That's you persecuting yourself there.
Clearly.
Go ahead.
I have no actual story here. I'm just mad. I just want to complain about the fact that my window got shot by some idiot. And kids are bad. However, I was a kid once too, and I did bad things, so it goes. Nick, you have the actual intro this week.
Here's my story. Hold on.
Okay,
We're swapping the
up.
order of which one I'm doing first. No, you're fine. So I also had car trouble this week, but not the same kind of car trouble.
I didn't do it.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I appreciate that, and I actually do think that it was the same hooligan that shot a BB gun at the back of your car. Okay,
the half-continent bandit or whatever.
So Jeffrey, my friend, this past weekend, I went to Northern California, which is a 7 or 8, depending on where you're going, to hour drive away from my home down here in Orange County, and that was a really good time. I had fun. Saw old coworkers and friends and old roommates and whatever else. It was a good time was had by all. Mm-hmm. Rode my bikes in different places. Fun. I came back on Monday, and my plan was to stop off in Santa Cruz, see one more person, and ride my bike in Santa Cruz, because it's kind of a destination, and then drive from Santa Cruz down here. And leaving at 2 o'clock, I was like, I will get to LA after LA's 5 o'clock traffic, and I'll be in a good place. All will be well. And you have about 300 miles or so of 200, maybe 250, I don't know, miles of just straight freeway in that drive. Okay? 250 miles. And about halfway through, my tire just straight exploded. And there was, I don't know what liquid is. Yeah, it's a pretty good time.
No. Like in the middle of the driving.
In the middle of the driving, and several hundred miles from home, and kind of in one of those places where you're like, yeah, there's civilization here. There are towns built around the gas stations on the side of these freeways, and and
did this happen like 3 days ago?
It did.
Nick,
Monday.
I think. Wow. On Monday, around 3, or actually would have been around 4 p.m. my time, so around 2 o'clock your time. My tires sent to my car's computer low pressure signal thing, and I was worried that I was going to have my have a side of the road tire problem. I think that might have just been the universe telling me that somebody close to me was having a low pressure tire problem.
What was frustrating to me is that my that's actually really eerie, or not eerie. I guess like it's a weird coincidence.
Yes,
but. What was frustrating to me is that I got a notification telling me my tire pressure was low, but it wasn't like that low, and it exploded 10 minutes later. Like it, like I was like, I'm gonna stop at this place for gas anyways. I'll pull over. It'll be great. It just exploded. It just exploded. So it exploded. Thankfully, I was able to keep the car under control, but there was like sealant, or I don't think it's sealant that's in car tires. I don't know what liquid it is. There's white liquid spraying everywhere. It's on my car, or looked like it was on my car. People around me freaked out because I was in not like traffic, but there was a fair amount of people in the area, and people swerved away from me as my car's tire exploded, and I understand why.
Fair enough.
And then I freaking so I didn't want to make this too big of a topic because there's not that much to it, but I did have to wait 2 hours for a AAA guy to tow the car, and which is a lesson to me that even though my car is not convenient for carrying a spare, I should carry a spare. And then another hour and a half waiting for the 24-hour tire repair guy in the town that is several hundred miles from any major city or suburb to come back to his 24-hour tire repair shop. So my would have been 6-hour trip from Santa Cruz to Orange County that I was really like happy to do, and like, oh, I've got it all planned to hit this, just a good time. I'm gonna get home at like 8 or 9, no big deal. And instead I got home at 1:45. Took me a cool 11 hours and 45 minutes.
Yay.
But I beat 12 hours. I beat 12 hours, so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
not much fun or interesting about it, but it was like a weird moment that I was like, I guess I gotta share this.
ever since I had my ever since I had my transition blow, ever since I blew my transmission on the way home from a trip from Kansas City, which is only 2.5 hours, but we were only like 20 minutes in, and I had a family of the four of us and a very young child at the time. Yeah, that was terrible, and so I have so much sympathy. Anytime you end up on the side of the road, it is the least desirable thing ever.
Yes,
and it's like it starts to get to the point where it's like. Every minute that goes by is another $10 per minute that I'm willing to like pay to get out of this.
Right, exactly. Well, the other fun thing is that like, so it's a highway that's that like exits are relatively few and far between. Not like too bad, not but you know you'll occasionally see signs like 40 miles till next gas or something like that, right? And so I was like. Trying to decipher as I can feel that my car does not want to be driven with an exploded tire. I'm like trying to decipher, do I try to make it to the exit? And I pull over and I cannot make it to an exit. And I cannot make it to anywhere where there's a big shoulder. So I stood on a shoulder in the desert in 90-something degree heat for 2 hours. It was good times. It's both kind of nerve-wracking because you can feel the cars driving by you, and also
I hate that. Yeah,
a gajillion miles or a gajillion degrees of heat. So there you go.
A gajillion miles per hour heat. Okay,
a
Nick.
Gajillion degrees of heat. That's what I tried to say. I'm sorry. I use my technical terminology.
Yes, I am very sympathetic to that. I do know how badly that sucks, and I am sorry. But the show must go on.
The show should go on.
Yeah, so we're
Tell
gonna
me something fun and interesting in your life, Jeff.
Nick, okay, so I've texted you a bit about this, so it's not going to be a complete shock, but I've throughout my kid getting older, my son, he is 5. He's going to be 6 here soon. He there's certain parts of it that have been more fun than others. Obviously, I love my kid, but the older that he gets, the more actual fun that I get to have. It's always fun. Like they're cute and blah blah blah, but it's like a cute fun, not actually me doing what I feel bad to say, but like it's not doing what I actually want to do. I'm doing it because it's cute and fun kid stuff.
Completely get that experience. Yeah.
So the first time that I genuinely felt like, man, this is actually kind of fun is my son has kind of gotten into comic books a little bit. And there's a couple kid comic books that are actually pretty entertaining to read that I've gotten on recommendation. The one that I've read that we're currently reading through is called Hilo. It's really, really fun. And it's a genuinely good story. And so I enjoy reading through it with him and he loves it. And it's a good time. So that's been like probably 3 months ago when we first got into that. And
very
Nick,
cool. Very cool.
As we've talked about on here, we both, you and I, do occasionally enjoy the occasional video game, and so that's always been at the back of my mind of something that I wanted to do with my son, and like that takes many forms, as it turns out. There's tons of like kids games that are like dragging shapes and putting them into like their shape spots, like basically digital puzzles and other just mindless things. And like in some other more like educational things, like teach them how to count and blah, blah, blah. But it's not actually like fun games.
Right.
However, recently my son has started to figure out how to do dual axis controls like on a controller, both on the iPad and like with an actual like Switch controller. So which is
awesome. Good on him.
Which is awesome.
And that opens up a lot, right?
It opens up a lot. So the first thing that we started to play together was there's recently been a Kirby game that came out.
Nice.
And like the cool thing about it is you can play as Kirby, and then another player on the Switch can play as, I can't remember the character's name, but like a little secondary guy who can float around and hit people with his little lance thing.
Okay.
And like they don't have to actually do anything, but it's just like a bonus person to help with things, which he loved, except for that eventually he just wanted to be Kirby all the time because Kirby can do all the cool stuff. And then he would,
it's pretty fair,
not do as good as Kirby as he did, playing the guy who could,
right,
get teleported around and just have to hit things. So that was fun. We played that for a good while. And then so Nick, you and we've recently played a video game. We talked about it on our Patreon podcast. We played Shredder's Revenge, which is it's not just Switch game. It's a bunch of different consoles, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle beat 'em up remake from 90s nostalgia, which is awesome, by the way.
Fantastic.
Still
Absolutely fantastic.
Still super fun. But Nick, you know what I didn't even think about? So we played that on the hard difficulty because we are, hardcore gamers, professional gamers.
Super hard. That would be exactly the words I would use to describe myself as a hardcore gamer. And I think that people who describe themselves as hardcore gamers are authenticating the fact that they are a hardcore gamer. Just
how else would anybody know if you didn't state it?
Right. The only kind of person who would call themselves that is a hardcore gamer, and hardcore gamers would absolutely call themselves that and not hate themselves for saying it out loud. You know what I mean? Anyways.
Yeah. So, hardcore gamers, us, we beat the game. Pretty big deal. Put it up on the ladder. I don't remember exactly where we ranked, but it's probably pretty good. So after our epic trip through Shredder's Revenge, I thought to myself, hey, there's some way easier difficulties to this thing, and it's about as easy as it goes for other people to hop in. I bet this would be super fun for my son to hop in on. And turns out, Nick, not only is it a super fun game for us to play together for the first time in a bajillion years of video game, he had an absolute blast. And not only that, Nick, you know how we figured out how to do the taunting? Well, he played as Raphael, who did this little laughing taunt, and then you could do the special. So he learned how to do that. I taught him how to do that. And then that's all he wanted to do, which is, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So just did the laughing taunt, and then he would do his special. And so literally what we did was I would just protect him as he would do his laughing taunts, and then he would do all his specials and kill everybody. And it was genuinely super fun.
That is super fun, and I just want our listeners to know that you treated your son the way I had to treat you in the game. It's I was just all right, I will distract for and provide protection for my friend Jeff here while he does his own thing. While he's literally useless for a couple seconds so that you can get his kill button. You can get his,
I'm blushing in real life. I feel a little bit seen right now.
Good, you should feel seen. But no, that's not fair. You actually did way too much work on all the game. Stop. It doesn't matter.
No,
the important thing is
you do not
awesome.
Need to humor me on my own
Hold
podcast.
On, guys. Let me just validate Jeff here. I don't want him to think that he's not good at a video game. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Hold on. Let me take my bow.
Yeah,
thank you.
But okay. So that's awesome. That's sick that he's having so much fun with it. That you were able to have a little, maybe not a strategy, but a little, I guess a strategy that worked for you guys, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. And also, I just on the side. So recently, we got this is me living my nerdy tech nerd life out as an adult who can actually afford to do anything ever. So we bought a new minivan. So I'm pretty cool. Like I said, epic,
people
super
know
good. Yeah, epic gamer guy, whatever, as people call me with my minivan. But anyways, it has a rear entertainment system, and I have it hooked up where I have all kinds of different options as far as inputs go, and there's plenty of power to go around. And so we had a family trip that was an hour and a half long, and my wife volunteered if I would drive the way up, she would drive the way back. And I have this little extra monitor that not monitor. It's 8 inches in the front that I rigged up to split the HDMI output so that Avron in the back could play on the Switch, and I could see in the front on the Switch the split HDMI output. And we played Shredder's Revenge all the way home, and that was super cool. And literally,
that is fantastic.
Literally a dream come true to be able to play a video game console with my son on the way home. It was fantastic. He got to
cool.
watch on the rear entertainment system.
That is fantastic, dude. That's seriously super, super cool. I don't know what else to say about it except that I think that's really cool, and I've been seeing that. I have a nephew who is about to be 4, so I think that that's a thing that you don't super get as from the outside, is that they kind of grow into their personality, and it goes from just being novel that you're around them to getting to see them become little people and have the intro experiences that you've had for your entire life. It's it's so sweet and so cool, man.
And then the actual reason I'm talking about this, Nick. I have obviously known Minecraft has existed. Are you familiar with the term Minecraft?
I've heard of Minecraft 1 or 7 times.
And we both have friends that have played a lot of Minecraft. Like this is not a thing that is completely foreign as far as like, you know, our general group of friends that play video games. But as I asked you, and I assume that it's still a true statement, you haven't played Minecraft much not any significant amount.
I've played, but not a significant amount is exactly
like
right.
under 1 hour, would you say?
Oh, over, but like under like 10 or 20. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you've played a bit, but not.
If you said the over under of like 10.5, I'd be like, it's hard to say. But if you told me 20, I'd be like, for sure under. There you go.
Okay, well, I could tell you real quick, I am cruising past that. So my son asked about Minecraft, and my wife had actually mentioned it as something that he might like, because he is the sort of kid who loves building things, loves Legos, that sort of stuff. And Minecraft, if you're not familiar, it is basically virtual Legos on steroids. And so, like I don't know, whatever. I'll check it out. I had literally played maybe a half hour, like just enough to understand what it was, but like not enough to do anything. And I hadn't done so in probably, I mean, it had probably been 5, 6, 10 years, something like that. So I got him set up, got him signed in, created an account, let him go to town. I had no idea like what to expect. Honestly, I wasn't 100% sure that he'd be able to figure out the controls, but spoiler, he did figure out the controls, and he started to build a few things, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, he's having a bit of a fun time. I bet I could play with him, and that might be fun. And so I went down the rabbit hole of like figuring out all the different Minecraft things. I originally was, looking into, what would it take to host our own server, what all the different types of modes are, and all this other jazz. But while I was figuring all that out, he was really figuring out the game pretty well.
That's awesome.
And so I finally figured out what we wanted to do, and I set us up. We were just playing in a creative mode, which basically means you can have all the resources, whatever you want, and just go to town with building things. And we started, and he built his own little like starter house that was like our main base. And then we built more things, and then we figured out. First thing I wanted to do, like this was like a collaborative thing. Like we wanted to build like a big underground cave like structure thing. And so I would start digging, and he would his favorite thing was to go behind us and put fires down everywhere so that we could see what we were doing. And he had a blast. And then I figured out how TNT worked, and so then I got to blow up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he would go crazy and light it all on fire so that we could see what we were doing. And like literally, I mean, I think I mentioned in my text, it's like the first time that me and him have been called to dinner before, which is like the first time I've been quote called to dinner since I was a kid, like 18 years old.
It's pretty dang good.
And like we just like minutes melt away, and it was so much fun, and I had a blast, and I built a giant wall, and then he like TNT'd like the entire thing. I was like, I had to catch myself of like being upset with like, oh wait, hold on, none of this actually matters. Like it's all just for silly fun.
You're like, excuse me, young man, I worked very hard on that.
Well, because I did. The funny thing is, I did work very hard on that, and now it's just a giant crater, and it's like, you know what? It's okay. So, I didn't actually care about it to begin with.
I don't know. Kind of sounds like you cared, Jeff. I don't know.
No, it is funny though. I'm the sort of the art. It's like the combination of artistic and competitive like met right there, and I'm like, oh wait, hold on, just let me pick that up, set it to the side.
Yes,
like
yes.
this is not why I'm here. Not why I'm
critical.
here.
Yep.
I had fun. I had fun making it, and I had fun with my kid, and that's all that mattered. It's okay that it's now just blown up rubble. That's fine. Don't worry about it. But no, it's been an absolute blast. Turns out Minecraft is pretty fun. There's a lot you can do though. We are barely scratching the surface, but
that's so cool, man. That is super, super fun.
And I think and I mentioned it in a text earlier to you, like the coolest thing I think is like, dude, like you could legitimately, if you wanted to, ever, or anybody could, like you could hop on to our server and talk to my kid, and he would tell you like what his plan is to go do stuff. And even though he's only 5 years old, you could like meet my kid and actually talk to him in a way that like was meaningful. Like he is going to go do this thing, and by golly, he will do it. And I don't know. It's been a very surreal 3-month transition between like small kid who does small kid things to small kid who can kind of hang with playing video games, which is like super fun. I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to continuing to capitalize on this because
I think the cool thing about kids is that they develop really really fast and they have an ability to learn really quickly, right? So like I think him hitting this age group, I think you're gonna probably be like pleasantly surprised at how much he's gonna like be able to pick up on things really quickly. Like there's kids who skateboard and like there's like 8-year-olds who can do just crazy stuff on a skateboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's so cool, dude. It's awesome that you're able to share that with them and have a lot of fun with them. That's awesome.
It is awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. All right, Nick, next thing. You have a thing. One more thing.
I do. Okay, so you and I talked about this before the episode, and it's pretty dang good.
Yeah. Yes, I'm so happy.
So this is just a random thing that I thought was hilarious, and I figured our listeners would love to. So there is a Vancouver soft rock radio station called Kiss FM, and we are recording this on Wednesday evening, Wednesday the 29th? The 29th. So you may have already heard of this by now, or may have heard of it even as we're recording this, but this is fantastic. This morning, 2 longtime morning show DJs were laid off. And today, as a response, the two have decided that they are going to play Killing in the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine on loop for, as of right now, it's been 15 hours, Jeff.
Yes.
We're 15 hours in.
I've since Googled it, and it is quite the ordeal. Yes, it is now getting picked up by major outlets. It is now officially a thing.
Yep. I found a Rolling Stone article for it.
Yep.
It's pretty good. I saw it a couple hours ago, but it's still pretty dang good. So they've been playing it on repeat, no matter what people call in to request, but which is fantastic all its own. But what I also love is that a lot of the callers are in on the joke, and we'll call in. Oh man, hold on. It's trending on Twitter, which is where I found I was listening a little bit, and I heard one caller call in, and the guy was kind of messing with him. The DJ was kind of messing with him before he played the song. But like the callers are either in on the joke or they're like asking to hear something else, and either way, the answer they are getting is Killing in the Name Of. So like, here's a Twitter user's transcribing some stuff. Is caller said, "Can you play any other song except Rage Against the Machine?" And the host said, "You want to hear another song?" Caller says, "Yes, like any other song." Like, okay, let me see if I can find another song for you. Caller said, "Is something going on?" And then immediately Killing in the Name Of starts playing. The caller says, "Can you play anything besides that one song?" He just says, "I'll see if I can play anything besides Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name Of." Caller says, "That would be great, thanks." And before they're finished, Killing in the Name Of starts playing. Caller's asking if everything's okay. And oh man, sorry, Jeff, you're gonna have to edit. But I'm trying to find one more.
I'm reading more of these two. This is so great.
They're very, very good. Crap, I can't find it. But there's some that are like people asking like, "Can you play it?" And they're like, "I don't know." Well, that's a tough one. We got some other songs to get to, but we'll see if we can find it and put it in the library and then immediately start playing it. So I just think this is the most excellent type of like, petty protest. This is the kind of petty drama I live for. And also the song literally says, "F you, I won't do what you tell me." It's like, it's like literally the most appropriate song for this situation. I mean, also, by Rage Against the Machine of all bands, right? So I love it deeply in my soul. And yeah.
Oh man. It is literally, this is the sort of stuff that is like the things that make it, viral on the internet. This is the sort of stuff that I just love. That like literally just blasting Killing in the Name on repeat.
For 14 hours! For 14 hours, it's fantastic.
It's such a perfect song to just blast.
It really
because
is.
not only is Rage Against the Machine and that's kind of their jam, but also Like there's only like 6 lines that are repeated the entire song.
I know it is not dense with.
No,
It's not dense.
it has one specific theme.
It really does. It really does.
One specific theme the entire time. So to have that one specific theme blasted on the radio by 2 people whose last day is because like is this like their last day or whatever?
I don't know. I think today is their last day.
Okay.
The Rolling Stone article actually corrected me and said that they were told yesterday that they'd be getting laid off. And
okay. Well, same difference.
And-
hey, you know what, Nick? Regardless of that, today is their last day.
Yeah, today may be their last day.
Today is
Although,
their last
you
day.
say that, apparently the entire internet is tuning in with it. Like, I'll tell you this, Jeff, I don't listen to a lot of soft rock Vancouver radio stations, and I listened for 20 minutes, and I was having a good time.
Oh man, this is glorious. I love it. Like I genuinely, this makes me happy. I feel bad that people are, being laid off and whatnot, but oh my gosh, if you're gonna go out, this is how I want to go out. This is great.
Completely agree. I also just want to let you know that someone on Twitter pointed out in the trending thing, which I can't use Twitter regularly, but finding this trending thing on Twitter is pretty great because I'd just be addicted to it. But someone on Twitter pointed out that the funniest part is that the recently played list on the site does not have Killing in the name on it. They've got a recently played. they've got a graphic showing all the recently plays with like timestamps, and it must just be made up because it's like, look, it's like That's What I Want by Lil Nas X. Oh, Happy by Pharrell. Oh yeah, that's great. No, there's no name right.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
I love it. I love it so much. Oh man, I'm just going through Twitter talking about this is so good. All right. Well, thank you for sharing this, Nick. I do love it very, very much. It makes me very happy.
Yep.
This is good stuff. I wish more stuff like this happened.
This is the good stuff.
Man. I think I'm just gonna do half my topic because I'm gonna let the other one maybe die. It was the one that I was going to talk about last time, and it is kind of interesting a little bit. But I think it just needs to be put to bed. But I'm going to talk about the other half, which I think is funnier, and I love it a little bit more. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm here with right now.
Yeah.
Nick, we're going to talk about Pepsi points, baby.
Pepsi points.
Pepsi points. I want you to watch this video, and I will edit in the sound probably. I just put it in my own browser as if that was going to be helpful to you. Good. Here you go. Pepsi points. Are you familiar with Pepsi? Well, this is. Pasting.
I assume I am. I assume it was like a thing where you got points for buying Pepsi products, and like under the lid would be like a thing or a code or something that you had to
You're
put.
darn right it is.
Okay.
I'm just pasting pictures of it. URL.
That's not very useful for me. I mean,
Google. Why are you the way that you are? I blame.
I'm not manually typing this out right now.
Type this in. It's not a big deal.
I mean, it's not. It wasn't a big deal. I got it, but it's still weird.
Are you able to copy it?
Yeah. Or no, I wasn't, but I was able to type it manually.
Wait, you literally typed this?
I'm on it. Pepsi Harrier Jet commercial 1.
Okay.
This is 1 million views.
I'm incredibly impressed that you were able to type this that fast. Okay, ready? Hit play. 3, 2, 1.
I just want you to know. You sent me. Hold on. I just want our listeners to know that Jeff sent me an image with the YouTube URL, which is one thing. But then he sent me another image, and the text is in a dark gray, and he sent it to me with an opaque background. So it's dark gray on dark gray. Like, oh, thank you for sending me a different image of it.
Shut up, you idiot. In my defense, I was trying to get this in the text. I have no idea why I copy and paste from freaking Word into Google Docs, and it makes a picture. Macs are stupid. I quit Mac.
That I agree, but like also, what is happening, Jeff? Are you okay? Like,
I'm losing my mind. All right, hit play.
Just pull up
we need to.
You go to the URL bar.
Shut up. We need to play this stupid commercial. It's 44 seconds long. And we're gonna hit play now in 3, 2, 1. Now there's a little lead in here.
Mm-hmm. I'm here for it. I love it. It says 1995. I'm pretty sure it meant 59. It was a typo. They shouldn't have put a fighter jet for 7 million points. I already know that's not a good idea.
So Nick, can you describe what's happened, and then at the end of it, describe what you think might have been the problem?
Okay, so firstly, it's a 90s commercial that is advertising that you can get Pepsi merch and things from the Pepsi store called Pepsi Stuff, or there's like, I don't know, one kid had a little catalog magazine with Pepsi stuff on it, that you can get cool stuff like a t-shirt or a leather jacket or sunglasses for Pepsi points. And then it ends showing the kid buying all this stuff, showing up to school in a Harrier Jet, and it says Harrier Jet, 7 million Pepsi points. And okay, well, there's a lot of things that could go wrong here. But one of them is you can't give a child a Harrier Jet. That's not true. You
know what? I didn't have that in my notes. That's a heck of a point, Nick. You know what? You cannot do that. You are correct. That is just asking for lawsuits.
Look, that's correct. Yeah, you can't give a child a Harrier Jet.
What if they had 7 million Pepsi points? They can't possibly fly one. That's illegal.
That's correct. Okay, so I think that they may have overpromised in this. Also, lots of people drink stuff. How many Harrier Jets do they have? Like, I want all of us to create. I think that like we need more like organization from like the populace in the world. And what I mean by that is I think we need organizations that band together to get Pepsi points together, so that we can all sell them out straight up. Like we'll collect all our points together, so that nobody has to die of drinking too much Pepsi. So that we can all have Harrier Jets.
And we can all have 5% of a Harrier Jet.
Correct. Yes, we will all have a timeshare of a Harrier Jet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Nick, this was a promotion that happened in the 90s. As you could tell from the commercial, but also the year that it said on the commercial. And how it would work was you would earn Pepsi points based on, buying Pepsi products. Typically, a single Pepsi would be about $1 in cost back then in the 90s, and you would get one Pepsi point. So there was approximately a 1-to-1 exchange of dollar to Pepsi conversion there. However, like if you bought canned Pepsi, like a 24-pack, you could get significantly more Pepsi points per dollar.
Okay.
And sometimes, as you saw in there, it was like you get like a leather jacket for 1,700 points or something like that.
Right.
You could get a sweet Pepsi shirt for 75 Pepsi points. Had some sweet shades.
I have so much to say about all this. My first thing is like, do they believe that there's like a bunch of kids at school who are like, damn, check out this guy with all the cool Pepsi merch. Like, damn, does that guy drink Pepsi?
Also,
damn, that makes me think much higher of it.
Also, the shirt was 75 Pepsi points, which if you're going with the 1-to-1 conversion, that's $75, which is ridiculous in 1990s money. I
think it's ridiculous.
That's like $900 in today's money.
I'm only pretty sure that it's not ridiculous, or that it's ridiculous in 2040 money, but it still seems like I would like if I have like kids in 2040 and they're like, Dad, I want a $75 Pepsi shirt. Get out of here. Go away.
Right. Yeah, but nowadays that's like half a gallon of gas or whatever. So then there is the leather jacket though, and it's 1,700 points, Nick, and that's like 20 times the cost. That's
conversion rate did not hold up well between t-shirt and jacket.
That must be a very nice jacket or a very, very bad shirt. And then they had shades for 100.
Column A, little column B.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's all made up anyways. And they had shades for 175 Pepsi points, which, 175 Pepsi points for a pair of shades, probably just made out of plastic, but seems reasonable. But here's the thing, Nick. Let's say you bought yourself. Let's say you're aiming for that shirt, and you bought yourself a case or two of Pepsi. If you had at least 15 Pepsi points, you could buy more Pepsi points at 10 cents per point, which is quite the discount.
Oh wow.
Which means $15 minimum is because all these things cost less than $15. Like, I gotta imagine that's the case. However, there was one thing on that video That was not less than $15, Nick.
Was it the jacket?
It was not the
Was it
jacket.
the really cool shades? This guy had like John Lennon shades, but they were Pepsi blue. Like, you know, the big circular, colorful one. Like, I guess they weren't really. They're more like aviators. I scrolled it back, but you have to understand, guys. This says that it's 480p. It's more like 3p, 3 pixels is all it is wide. So, anyways, continue.
So, Nick, you've had your finger on the pulse of kind of how this has gone. Do you want to take just a good proper stab?
Did somebody try to get the Harrier Jet? Did someone try to get the? And also, I want to say that I said Harrier Jet. It does say Harrier Fighter. I'm not familiar with like jets. This looks like a weapon of war, Jeff.
It is literally. It is literally a fighter jet. Yes.
Good. That's what you like to hear.
So these jets back in 1990, whatever, they would retail to the defense places. To be clear, these were not just generally available to civilians.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, shocking. Although I'm sure with enough money you could do anything.
Or
enough Pepsi points you could do anything.
Can I buy a Harrier Jet?
Okay, please let me know how that goes while I continue to describe this.
Okay.
So at the time, it was worth just shy of $4 million. So it was like $3.75 million. And so the idea was that, and this is Mr. John D.R. Leonard. His idea was he was going to, like you mentioned, pay in Pepsi points
and then declare war on somebody.
to declare war. This is how the Cold War started.
Damn it. That was both good and awful.
It was terrible. Anyways,
God.
so you had to pay the initial $15 to be eligible, and then he sent them what I can only imagine was around like a $690,000 check to buy the rest of the Pepsi points required, which for a jet that is worth $4 million almost is not a bad deal.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that's what. As soon as you said the 10 cents per point thing, I was like, all of a sudden the fighter jet is probably appropriately priced.
So and also he included the what was on one of their disclaimers that you may have to pay up to $10 shipping per item. So he did include the $10 shipping for the Harrier Jet, which I love. And they did not accept it. So this
I really like the idea of this guy writing like a letter saying, I would like to redeem my Pepsi points for my Harrier Fighter Jet option. I listed at 7 million Pepsi points. Also, please find enclosed my $10 $10 bill I have included for the cost of shipping.
Yeah, I mean that's beautiful. I do love that because like literally it probably burns $10 of fuel per half second. So,
yeah.
So I mean
that's a very good point.
That's pretty beautiful.
But they did not accept it, huh? That seems like a really good thing.
It did go to court. And do you want to before I show you the last thing of this thing? Do you want to take a guess at how this played out?
No, I don't. But I do want to know. I want you to know that at some point when this was pitched to a like marketing executive or whatever, the guy was like, "Are you sure it's a good idea?" And then someone's like, "Don't worry, no one will ever redeem it." And that guy lost his job. There's somewhere out there where there's just like a regular Joe Schmo who's like, God dang it. Really, dude, you had to redeem the thing. Like,
so I won't get into all the gritty details because it's not all that interesting. As it turned out, it did get thrown out of court. They ruled in favor of Pepsi, and they said no reasonable person would think that this was actually something that could be redeemed. But the thing that actually was their saving grace there was they mentioned in the commercial their catalog, and they thankfully did not in their catalog have a Harrier Jet. So that worked out in their favor. But Nick, the thing I want to show you, and I'm so sorry, I'm going to make you type this again.
Oh my gosh! Can you? Oh my gosh!
I don't know. I
Even
don't know how. Maybe
right.
I can paste it. Let me paste it in the show notes. Hold on.
Yeah,
you're very fast at typing though. I'm very, 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 very bottom. I'm going to plop it here. There you go. You can copy that. This is what. Don't do this to me.
What? What?
For our listeners at home,
what
Nick.
did I do? Hey Jeff, what did I do? Because I can't copy that. Oh wait, yes I can.
We're so dumb.
That looks very much like an image, Jeff. That's not the same font as the rest of it, and it is larger. And it's not my fault.
Okay,
it's not my fault.
Paste this
I'm
in.
upset. I'm deeply upset. I already pasted my own thing. It says the video is not available.
It's very available. You're bad at typing. Copy mine and plop it in.
Okay.
Okay. Can you read
commercial 2?
Commercial 2. All right. You tell me when you're gonna hit play. Count it down.
I'm at 6 seconds. I'm at 7 seconds.
Start it over.
All right.
We need to be together.
All right.
And you need to try to spot the differences here.
Okay.
There's one big difference.
1, 2, 3. From 1996, there's a big difference, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally big.
Okay, guys. Monday, 7:56, still the same time. Oh, the T-shirt's less points.
Jacket's
the leather
less
points.
points.
Less points. I don't remember how many points.
Shades are less points.
All right. The Harrier Jet is now 700 million points, and I love it because they're just like, I dare you, do it again. Buy enough Pepsi again. We'll go to court. We'll do it again. Run it back.
Yeah. So for the people that didn't watch that with us and type it in manually themselves, basically what that ended up being was the exact commercial with a couple of numbers changed, but the most important number that changed was the Harrier Jet, that if you wanted to pay for it in Pepsi points, even with paying at 10 cents on the dollar, would be 10 times what it would actually cost.
Dude, I love it, but I do love the implication that they're like, okay, we're sticking to our guns. We're going to continue.
You know what? Yeah.
This commercial is too good.
It was a good commercial.
Do it. You won't. Redeem it. You won't.
Anyways, it made me happy. I'm it's one of those things where I don't want to 100% say it's true because I know false memories are a thing, but I'm pretty sure I remember that commercial as a kid. But yeah, the idea that they would get sued over a commercial and then they would just double down on the commercial and just like, actually it's 100 times. It's 100 times more expensive. Sorry about the typo.
Yeah, I'm not usually on the side of brands, and I'm not on the side of the brand for not redeeming the guy the first time. I don't care if it was supposed to be like unreasonable. The guy went pretty hard and got 7 million Pepsi points. I am on the side of them when they say, yeah, actually 700 million. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, I loved that a lot. I thought it was pretty funny. It was a good time. All right, Nick, let's wrap this thing. On the off weeks that we do this podcast, we have a Patreon podcast, and we talked about the NBA. Now, the NBA is over. How'd it go, Nick? Did it go okay?
Good times. Good times. Big fan. Would NBA again.
Thunder did great. They won the prize for most draft picks in their team. And,
the most draft picks of all time.
And your team did good too.
No, Jeff, the other thing, I had the least draft picks of all time. We have no draft picks. We have less draft picks than wins, which is amazing because we also have no wins.
And we have more draft picks than we have spots on our roster. So
that's good. It's good.
There's all kinds of problems in the NBA. But we don't only talk about the NBA because the NBA is over for now. There's other things, I bet. So if you want to check that out, it's like this, except for 15, 20 minutes. And like I said, on the off week. So if you want to check that out, like I said, TiWasap.com
Patreon.com
something.
/TiWasap.
Patreon.com/TiWasap. Perfect. Got it.
But
one.
You can find that at TiWasap.com.
You sure can.
You can also find our other stuff that we have, which is we're on at TiWasap on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And all of that is on TiWasap.com as well.
Nicholas, thank you so much for potting with me and talking about the potential that we could possibly buy a Harrier Jet with enough Pepsi points. It's been a good time.
I intend to accrue Pepsi points going forward for the rest of my life until I can get a Harrier Jet. You are welcome. This is your start. Oh, wait. I had last thing. This is our last thing as we're signing out. In case you're wondering, you can buy a Harrier Jet as a civilian, and I'm going to. You are welcome. This
listening to this podcast is worth 0.4 Pepsi points. Congratulations.
You'll have to redeem that with the code that I typed in. Unfortunately. But you are welcome. This has been the Eerie Start of the podcast. Thank you all for listening.